Ladies and gentlemen, this is the video that you've all been waiting for. This is a guide on how to defeat the Viper. The Viper is a boss at the end of Embar Ruins at the heart of the Forgotten Temple. This is a very difficult boss. It took me around 3 hours to beat him on normal difficulty, which I guess is the hard version of this game. But it's a really hard boss and you need strategies and you need tactics, and that's why I'm here to give you today. As always, I'm gonna be using the Spear and Moonlight stance because I think that's one of the best weapons and the best abilities in the game. Around time when I started, I was level 27. By the time I beat him, I think I was level 35 or 33. I'll show you my skill tree, but basically get the best armor you have, put a lot of points in the Moonlight stance skill tree. You can see on the screen that these are the abilities that I've spent points on. If you have any potions or other abilities or items that you want to use, sure, use them. This run at the end when I beat him was all raw. I had no summons, I had no special abilities. I beat him straight with skill and spear and moonlight stance. Let's get into the video. There are two phases for this boss. The first phase, we need to make sure that we take no to minimal damage. How do you do that? I'll tell you. When you spawn in, do a heavy attack, and whenever he does that stagger animation, that's how you know that he's staggered and he's gonna take stagger damage and he's basically not gonna hit back. When you've enabled that sequence, you need to do light attack damage to activate moonlight dance, and that's basically what I've done for the first phase. So as you see my fight right now, all I do is I hit an heavy attack so that he staggers, and whenever he's staggered, I do light attacks so that he keeps moving back, he doesn't attack me back. When my stamina exhausts, I take a step back, I let him do his moves. Whenever I have the opening, I do a heavy attack again, he staggers, and that's where I unleash my moonlight stance. I hit him with light attacks. That puts a lot of damage, it also puts a lot of stamina damage for him, and that makes the first fight very easy. Do this, make sure you're not taking a lot of damage. You need all heals because phase 2 has some really annoying and undodgeable and unblockable hits. Phase 2, just start praying. Jokes aside, this boss looks very intimidating and he does one or two attacks and he doesn't take any stagger damage, but otherwise his moves are pretty easy to read. I personally think that you can dodge most of his moves apart from one or few dashes that he does, and sometimes when he does his blind leap, he can hit you on the way across. The strategy for this is respect him because he will not take stagger damage. Only do rift attacks, which basically means when you do a rift dodge and then you attack him, or whenever you dodge a move where he takes a lot of time or he's standing still, do it then. But almost never go full stamina bar attacks. I think you'll pay the price. Do rift attacks, do dodges, respect him. If you can activate moonlight stance, great, do take advantage of it, but don't be greedy because he will punish you. He then goes on to this second semi phase where he basically does blind attacks on you. It's very hard to see him, but you do see him very clearly when he's close to you, and that's basically when you want to dodge. I've realized that dodging to the right is better than dodging to the left. I don't know if this happens to all players, but whenever I dodged to the left, I was always getting hit. But if you're dodging to the right, I think it's better. He also does this move where he runs up to you, dashes to the right, then he slowly attacks you, and then he puts his sword down. That's hard to read because the first attack is quite slow, the other one's quite standard. The first attack is actually very slow, so if you think you're being slow in terms of dodging, be even more slower because it's incredibly slow, and that's by far his slowest attack. This second phase requires a bit of practice just because you spend so much time in the first phase that you're very rusty when it comes to him. He does the same left hand move and then a right sword smash every single time. And if you're just reading them and if you're dodging, you can kill him and you can attack him and you can defeat him. That's what I think. He also does this one move where he basically slams into the ground and does splash damage. Just move aside from that because it's very lethal. If you follow these steps, and if you do a bit of practice, I think you can get phase 2 as well. I managed to get him without even using my last pair of heals as well. And the ending cutscene was worth putting all of those hours into defeating this boss. And that's basically it. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I do upload a lot of Khazan content. I'm uploading boss guides on how to defeat them as I go through the playthrough. So if you like that content, make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.